we are loaded in to game number 2 here in this best of 3. In the bottom left, we have the blue Terran player. His name is Jason. And in the top right, we have the red Protoss player. His name is PuCK. We're playing here on Eternal Empire. Bit of a fun map. You've got a lot of airspace to work with. I think this map is really good in some ways for Terran. Actually, I think this is one of the better maps in the pool for Terran, especially. You've got so much place to hide air units for Liberators, even battle cruisers. I don't know if you guys watch Special play. I haven't been able to catch any of his tournament matches lately. But I've been watching Special play on the top of Korean ladder, and even he's been doing like some battle cruiser stuff into mech versus toss. Weirdly enough, I don't think that would be particularly good against PuCK, since the weirder the game gets, the better PuCK generally does. I think PuCK's biggest weakness, as we saw in that last game, was just Jason played an extremely straight-up Terran versus Protoss. He played an extremely straight-up Terran versus Protoss. He did a fantastic job of controlling, being patient, not forcing the issue. Honestly, I think if I were Jason, I probably would have tried to use the medevac with the 2 tanks and those 13 Marines. If I were Jason, I probably would have tried to force the issue on that 2-base PuCK last game. And he might have lost if he had done that. That's why Jason's a much better player than me. That patience is so important because PuCK thrives in chaos. PuCK is going to be really greedy with those ninja bases. He's going to do something weird like when this Cybercore finishes in 6 seconds. I'm going to guess. I'm just going to guess. Probably Stargate. You could go Robo, but I think Stargate's the classic choice. There we go. This game is being broadcast live, by the way, for the ESL Pro Tour. So all of these matches are live. Jason going to get the quick bunker follow-up with his Marine because he says to himself, golly gee willikers, I don't want to lose my natural early on. Some Protoss players will try to chrono out a really fast Adept with, because he did delay the Nexus to do it the way that he has. So usually if they delay that Nexus and they get that core out early and they rush the Adept across, you can actually delay the Terran Command Center. And then sometimes there's a second gateway or even just another Stalker that's rallied behind the Adept. And well, let's just say many Terran players have lost games to Protoss by not building that bunker early on. So it's a good grab for Jason, but is he ready for how fast this Oracle is going to hit? Because the factory is done. The Widow Mine, if he starts it now, is going to finish around the same time as the Oracle, since it takes 15 more seconds. But the Widow Mine is presently rallied to the front, right? By where that bunker is. And this Reaper for Jason, he's like, where's the tech? Where's the meat? Where? He doesn't know. Why? Because bada bing, bada boom. It's right here. So PuCK, now with his first Oracle, is going to fly over there. There is a Widow Mine burrowed next to the refinery. So he did change its trajectory. Is he going to get that sweet shot? Nice. Well, great pickup there as he's able to get a tremendous save against that fast proxy Oracle. If I'm being honest, that proxy Oracle can be so difficult to deal with. It can be so frustrating. Many Terran players lose off of that if you don't have that placed properly. So kind of tucking that mine in. If the Oracle goes on the north side of the base, you can get something done there, but he's going to come in. Oh yeah, look at that. He actually gets over here just in time to... No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. No. No. Oh, PuCK, no. 2 Oracles straight into the Widow Mine meat grinder. Oh, no. And this Reaper, you say to yourself, can't the Oracle just kill this Reaper? Yeah, but then it's going to burn all of its energy before it even gets to the Terran base. So all he can do is just fly right back in. But now there's a Viking and a Cyclone. Oh, no. Yeah, this Oracle is super dead. He's like, maybe I can drag the mine shot over the SCVs? No. No, you can't. So the Reaper is going to power down the Stargate now. And Raven's coming out. Jason's ready to start up his stim upgrade. Meanwhile, back over at PuCK's base, say, Nate, we haven't looked at PuCK's base in a while. I'm like, yeah, because the most important part of his base was on the other side of the map. But he's got a Robo Bay coming in. And this to me says disruptors, very early disruptors. PuCK could be throwing me for a heckin' bamboozle. He went Colossus last game. Usually I expect PuCK to do the weirdest option. Whatever the least likely option is, that's usually what PuCK goes for. So My guess would generally be disruptor drop, but since the Twilight's starting, maybe it's just going to be some cash money Colossus. Who knows? Who knows? The real hard part about it is it's hard to take that third base because he has to start all the tech up now. Because he proxied the Stargate, it's not like he can hold on to it and build a few Phoenix or something at home. He kind of has to make use of that. And I do like the Disruptor as this choice because as good as the Colossus is, the Colossus thrives in an environment where you can support it, you know? The Colossus needs support. You can't just let it hang out there all by itself. Meanwhile, the Disruptor, well, the Disruptor can do a lot on its own. And if it's possible to get that big shot, then, well, you can bring a game back from very far behind. And the Hallucinated Phoenix Scout is going to go and try to see what it can see. There's no fast third from the Terran player. I use Korean sounds. Get over it. And he sees, oh, Reactor Factory. But there's the stem. There's the combat shields being researched. Well, let's be honest here, man. This is a ton of stuff. And I have absolutely no idea how PuCK is going to... He's going to have 2 Disruptors with a third one on the way by the time this army hits. Now, theoretically, it is mostly Marines. So it's very clumped up. If he can get 1 or 2 money shots of the Disruptor, he can kill all of this easily. Okay, I shouldn't say easily. He can kill all of it instantly if he connects properly. But he cannot. There's nothing he can build right now that's going to be able to actually fight this. He has to get Disruptor hits. And for Jason, he should recognize that there's literally only one way that he loses this game right now. And that's if he lets a Disruptor shot eat his whole entire army. So PuCK, no third base. He's getting boxed in now. 1 Disruptor was used. It is on cooldown. He throws some force fields to try and bait. That is nice. Cyclone doing a little bit of harass with the lock on. He's going to throw this Disruptor shot out and get 2 Widow Mines. Grabs the pylon on the high ground. Another Disruptor is going to come. I think the first one getting close to the cooldown, but he uses the interference matrix so that it can't attack. That Disruptor gets nothing. And now he's waiting. He's got one just about to come off the cooldown, and he also has the one that was locked down earlier. Gets 3 Marines shaved off there.
Nate casting so good.
Thank you. Gets the Cyclone with that Disruptor shot, but Jason brings 2 more medevacs. He's just going to yeet himself onto the Protoss army, ripping and tearing with the Widow Mine. That Disruptor shot is going to force him to lift everything, though, and PuCK is actually putting up a better defense than I thought, but Jason's just rallying Marines across the map with Stim. And let us not forget, 3rd Command Center done. 3rd Nexus, it's just about to start, baby. And honestly, there's still a mine here. The Disruptors, they're having a rough time. Despite everything, killing the Disruptors was the most important part of this push. Because if PuCK was somehow able to get to, like, I don't know, 5 or 6, where he can just rotate the shots constantly because they're constantly coming off cooldown as he shoots, then it gets pretty difficult to push in without suiciding. And he's got a 2nd Robo now. But by picking off those few earlier, there's just two Disruptors. And he's got a few more that he's trying to add on as a mine drop is going to hit. The cannons, of course, are going to be really good against that. That shot goes into oblivion inside the assimilator. But I don't know if he has enough to save this 3rd Nexus. It's very important. Disruptor shot is not going to connect. He clicks on it. He gets the Nexus cancel. He doesn't need a Nexus kill. Just look at this situation. He's got a fully saturated 3rd. How often do we see this happen? A Protoss player is on 2 bases versus a 3-base Terran. Is this Heart of the Swarm? No, it's not Heart of the Swarm. Which means this isn't normal. Usually, it's a lot like that last game. And PuCK lost the last game. He had a massive economic lead, and now he's putting it all in the back of these Disruptors. He is hoping that these Disruptors can be the Greg Jennings to his Protoss army. He's got to run 80 yards with a broken leg and also get past Darren Choppa. And honestly, I just don't know if that's going to be possible in this game. Jason's still trying to put on as much harass as possible, bringing the medevacs everywhere. This one doesn't even have anything in it. He's just like, click me. This Liberator, not going to do too much with the photon cannons here. So Jason seems like he could be doing a little bit more with this army. I think you're going to need ranged Liberators to get through this. He's cresting over that number I was talking about. He's gotten to 5 Disruptors. Number 6 is coming out. He's about to go full M canning. And that's when it gets dangerous, because if you try to push into that, level of blink disruptor, you can really, really hemorrhage a lot of units quickly. You have to be so careful. It does get the observer on the outside, but fusion core, +1 ship weapons. Jason's looking like he's setting himself up really nicely, but PuCK did get his third. He's got some probe saturation going. And frankly speaking, this is an army composition that is really good when you're behind. Not because it's guaranteed to do anything, but because there's a chance of it doing everything. So we got some more scans. Jason's just checking for the observers. He wants to know what's what. He's got multiple Widow mines strung out in the front. He's putting units everywhere. He's like, all right, Marine check for ninja bases. He wants to know that PuCK isn't hiding anything like he was in the last game, taking bases all over. But another thing, man, look at this. The 2-2, halfway done for Jason. PuCK's +1 armor is only just finishing. Even with Chrono, he's going to be behind on those upgrades. And we all know if you're ahead on upgrades with Terran versus Protoss and you're playing Bio, you don't just win. You win big. You win big. Stalkers blink forward, grab a Widow Mine and a Liberator. Try to get the second. But here's another big army coming in. Now, he did split the Disruptors and the Stalkers on both sides because he knows he only needs 1 or 2 hits. And it's actually quite hard to avoid getting hit by those, especially when you're trying to micro 2 armies at once. But that Disruptor count, dude, he's at 7. He's going up to 9 Disruptors. Yeah, you just can't push into this without ranged Liberators, honestly. You need to have ranged Liberators to break a Protoss with this type of army. If you theoretically could right-click on all of the Disruptors, but the odds of him not landing 2 or 3 shots that kill your whole army in that period of time... Oh, there you go. There's half the army right there. Another massive chunk. And that... PuCK smells blood in the water. It's Shark Week, ladies and gentlemen. He's got some forces still left on the outside, but PuCK says, woo! Now I can breathe a breath of fresh air. Eats a few mine shots, though. Ooh, ouch. Owie, my bones. There's another mine. Careful, careful. No, mines don't kill Disruptors, thankfully, for PuCK. So he's got a big army now. Blink Stalkers and Disruptors. He's continuing to double pump those Disruptors out. Now, I will say, PuCK does have a timer on him because ranged Liberators counter everything Protoss has, except for Tempest. So he's going to need to make a transition into Stargate or literally blink everywhere. But his army is also too big to recall, worth pointing out, because if he gets boxed into a corner here and doesn't have the Disruptors available or enough of them, he could still take a ton of damage. And he's got an observers that's following, two actually very well placed. They have a very good idea of where the army is. And that's what, see that scan? PuCK's like, I got to avoid the scans. Jason says, where is PuCK's army? Where is PuCK's army? What is he doing? Where is the opportunity to strike? With this many Disruptors, direct engagement is very dangerous. But the best thing to do for PuCK is to stay moving, since, good God, there are 10 Liberators with range, 69 SCVs. And he has the economy to power out this massive army. And it becomes suffocating. If he sieges 10 Liberators onto a point where these Stalkers have to fight and they blink into that liberation zone, it's just going to be disgusting. Oh, gets a good chunk. That's what I'm talking about. The Disruptors, man. You need to start spacing out the Liberators and slowly advance. That really is it. You got to be like boom, 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 boom. Hashtag NutriBoom. But the Stalkers, he's like, yeah, dude, if you're not going to siege those libs, I'm going to continue to try and poke and shave here, because that's what this army does. He blinks forward, and there you see the Liberators do a lot of damage. The Stalkers can survive a little bit, but once the Liberators... Actually, kind of surprised Jason hasn't gotten +2 yet. +2 Liberators. Always 2-shot Stalkers. Until you have +2, Liberators need 3 hits to kill a Stalker. Once you have +2, and then obviously +3, you 2-hit Stalkers, which tremendously decreases the amount of time it takes to kill a Protoss army. So PuCK says, I'm going to go for a big counterattack while you push my 4th base. Disruptors are going to go onto the SCVs that are repairing and the siege tanks. So Planetary Fortress erased. But with how much he's committed and how much he's about to lose, he has to continue. Ever forward, ever onward is PuCK. He says, you can have the other planetary. I'm going to take down your third, and I need to get right on top of the Terran production because he's starting to rally siege tanks, double pumping siege tanks inside of his own base. PuCK needs to get inside the main base of Jason and start killing production. He needs to. If he cannot shut that down and the Terran can hold up and defend, dude, you're not doing anything with all this in your base. You're not recalling and fighting this. It's not going to happen. PuCK does have his units all balled up. He brought a good number of the disruptors to the other planetary. He was able to smite that. He's got a nexus starting at the bottom right. He's got this nexus here. Of course, you're still under threat because, yeah, you can have as many bases as you want, but if you lose these gates, ooh, that disruptor dies as it's born. If you lose the gates, you can't build anything. You still need the warp gates. I know someone's like, oh yeah, but Protoss can build the units anywhere. Yes, but you still need gateways. He's on the Protoss production. Recall is off cooldown, but if he doesn't come home now, wait, he used his recall on that one disruptor to come back here, and now it's gone. Oh my God, okay, he's got Dark Templar. Oh boy. When behind? Dark Shrine, I guess. Dude, if PuCK wins this game, I'm gonna lose it. Look at that, immediately rebuilds a Dark Shrine. He's going for more gates. The gates are what he needs. Cybernetics core is also going to be important to replace because he can't build stalkers anymore. And he doesn't have charge. So at the moment, he can build zealots and soon DTs. Oh yeah, ranged libs. You're never mining off of this, by the way. I do like the idea of just trying to send one DT at a time. Are all the DTs dead? No, he's just got them here. That I find interesting. He could spread the DTs out amongst the production. Not a bad idea. There's a very limited number of scans. And Jason doesn't have a Raven. He's supply blocked. PuCK is also supply blocked. They lost a ton of depots, ton of pylons. Uh-oh. PuCK's going to find some Jason units. He's sending out the disruptor shots. Gets a big chunk of the bio there. Stalkers are pulling back. Gets another good, solid shave. And here are the DTs. The scan is used, but it expires. And the Dark Templar are getting to work inside of Jason's base. He's just going to right-click on that orbital command. He says, yeah, buddy, I'm just going to try to take out your detection. This nexus, not placed properly, doesn't matter. As long as he's got a base. No, don't run into the liberators, PuCK! Well, that hurt. Keep the DTs. No, one of them dies. This base takes a little bit of damage. I mean, this nexus doesn't really matter anymore. These two liberators, you literally can't do anything. Stalkers can't reach these. He needs a Stargate. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like that's where it comes down to. You have to be constantly mobile and not let the libs get into position. Can he reach here? He's lucky. He's lucky he can reach it. Jason could have put this a little bit further back. Because if he gets a Liberator in that spot, he can shut down the economy. And then, once Jason's in the rebuild phase, this game starts to get real ugly for PuCK. Real ugly, but only having 2 orbitals, he can't really mule. So thankfully, he has a lot of SCVs. If he loses his SCVs and then he can't mule because of the DTs, then the game is over. But Jason's army is better. There's the Stargate, by the way, starting now. You see that in the top left. He's got a little Stargate Reno. Honestly, just a Phoenix or 2 to push the libs back is really what he needs. He's going to try and break these rocks, open up more surface area. It's 3-2 bio. The Stalkers do not have any attack upgrades. He's going to find this Nexus now and kill it. Goodbye, Cybernetics Core. No more Stalkers for you. Goodbye, Forge. No Photon Cannons. No upgrades. And this is it, by the way. This Liberator is not... You can't hit this. I'm pretty sure you can't hit this Liberator with any of the Stalkers that he has. So he might build a Void Ray. It's a little bit more expensive. That's what he needs these pylons for. He can't build anything right now. He might build a Void Ray. It's going to be a little bit faster at killing him. But he could also go for Phoenix to try and chase better. The Void Rays can't chase the Liberators. They can push them away. And if they don't unsiege fast enough, they can kill them. Man, what a game this has turned into, though. Jason using his scans. Was that defensive? Where did that one go? Oh, on this base. Yeah. You got to be careful, though. Yeah, he's saving all the energy on his orbitals. That's the smart thing to do here. That is the best thing to be doing in this situation. because there's DTs. And PuCK just really needs to like, trickle them in slowly. Now you see there's the Phoenix. It's going to go delete that Liberator. Pew, 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 pew. All right, he can mine off that base again. Throws it a disruptor shot after looks like some stalkers died. And he's trying to hit the tanks. Not too shabby, not too shabby. He has a few more. Oh, he gets both of them. Those tanks are the only things that really shut down the disruptors once the Liberator count gets thinned out. So, but this is a great push we see here coming from Jason. Biggest problem is Medivacs have no energy. He's got the Skittles army going on. You know, he's got some orange, some red, some green, and some yellow. Every time he stims, he can't really heal all of them. But with the tanks protected by the Liberators, and the Liberators protected by the tanks, there's only so much you can do. He's got to go around him. He's got to give up this Nexus and go around, send the probes out somewhere else. That's the right thing to do, PuCK. And maybe just start yeeting DTs. He did just use all of his scans. He used all his scans, but PuCK only has one gateway. So, yeah. Yeah, with just one gate, I don't think he can do anything else. The Dark Shrine's about to die. He's supply block. Can't warp in now anyway. He does push this base. There is a single Liberator defending. But I feel like we may have reached that point. I feel like we may have reached that point, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to drop a force field to try and stop. PuCK is being revealed, so that means Jason can see all of his buildings without needing vision. Since PuCK no longer has a Nexus. He can afford to build a Nexus. But I think we're about to see PuCK tap out here, ladies and gentlemen. 22 army supply left. And no more disruptors. Just 2 DTs. GG! Jason has done it, and he advances 2-0 over PuCK.